Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inner Truth Recovery. We are women in recovery and leaders of a free sharing circle under the Unstoppable Dream for Women in Recovery program. Through our weekly circles, we hold space for healing, connection, and rediscovery. And here on our channel, we blend inspiration and reflection with oracle cards. So in each video, we pull a card at random and explore its meaning and share how it resonates with us on our recovery journey. So whether you're in recovery, if you're seeking guidance, or simply just curious, this space is for you. We invite you to dive into the wisdom of these cards and discover the truths that lead us closer to wholeness. Don't forget to subscribe and join us here weekly. Welcome, welcome. I'm excited, Jess. What deck are you pulling from today?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Jamie. I'm pulling from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. So
Yay.
deck here. And the card that came out for us is 6 VI, I think is 6, the Mentor.
Ooh, the mentor.
Yeah,
Interesting.
like the fire and the owl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, the Mentor, the teacher, the sage, the guru. It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. The true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. When in light, focused, clear, bright, remains a student. When dark, self-serving, envious of youth, righteous, and rigid. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto another. The expressions, feet of clay, and cult of personality exist for a reason. I'm not familiar with either of those expressions.
Yeah, me neither. So is it saying that like the mentor is when we're following our higher like spiritual path almost, and then when we're doing it for gain, we're in the shadow?
Yeah, I guess the way it reads to me is that um, we are, because it said the great cosmic waterfall pours down, right? And so the
Mhm.
mentor can hold all of
Yeah,
it and just
cosmic
give the
energy.
student whatever they need, right? So it's like
Yeah.
knowing, and you'd have to be connected. You'd have to be attuned to that cosmic
Yes.
down, like you have to be attuned to that cosmic, what they call it, cosmic knowledge, to know that, right? To like have
Yeah.
that intuitive sense of what is needed, right? Like is
Hmm.
do I need to be a catalyst here for change? Do I need to drip gentle with love? And I feel like that's really just like being tapped into our own inner truth, like our own heart
Yes.
space, to know what is needed in that time,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was connecting with that more towards the end. So yeah, definitely. It's like that higher truth, that God energy, universe, right? Krishna, whoever you resonate with.
Yeah, because it said when
When
the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of
hmm.
enlightenment, then the archetype falls into shadow.
Yes. I love this.
Yeah,
Yeah. I love how it's bringing the power back to you, right? To each person,
right.
right? And it's like that inner knowing is within us, that higher guidance is within us. Um, yeah, and constantly returning to that to be in alignment. Hmm.
Right, right. Because so often when I know for me, when I'm like resonating with mentors, it's often people that have had experiences similar to mine and are on the other side of them, right? They've
Yeah.
recovered from this journey or healed from this trauma or whatever it is, or they're really good at this, whatever they're mentoring me over. And so it's like, it's that connection to that identification with that experience, and them knowing, right? Like, like what worked for them and constantly pointing me back to like the truth of what works for me, you
Yes.
know? And it's funny that this came, I don't even know where I read this earlier today, but it was talking something about this idea of student and teacher and or guru. It's talking about guru and teacher. And it said something about, oh, can I remember it? It said something about like a guru will sell you their system and a teacher will point you back to you or something like
Yeah,
that. And I was like, oh, I like that. I like that. Right.
absolutely.
Because the
Yeah.
truth is, all of my mentors that are like, I really have brought about the most like transformation in me have been
Mhm.
those people that like wouldn't take my like I may try to give power to them or put them on a pedestal, like they wouldn't allow me to, right? It was constantly like pointing it back to me, right? Like look at your own answers, your own truth within.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it because that's what we talk a lot about, like within just our sharing circle too, right? It's about harnessing that energy and taking your power back too, so that you're moving in alignment with yourself as you move through this world, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Because especially like in this idea of right like holding it all and like giving the student the sip, I keep thinking of that because it's like when I was brand new on this journey and all in, of course I think, oh, I want it all at once, but thank
Yes.
God I didn't get it all at once. I would have been like mind blown into psych ward somewhere, right? It's like thank God I had these like teachers and mentors along the way that were able to kind of drip this information to me as I was ready to expand and receive it, right? And
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's that's a really like honorable and elegant role to have, to kind of be that like buffer, because ultimately we're all walking each other home, like
Yeah,
that's, yeah.
100%. So what
So
is the best way that you stay connected to your higher self or your mentor?
mm, uh I honestly love to daydream. Like I really do
Mhm.
love to just like daydream and just like let my mind wander. I love to do it while I'm walking in nature. And I some of the best like conversations I've had with spirit or whatever, higher, so whatever you want to call it, my
Yes.
soul, I don't even know, like have been in moments like that just kind of
Yeah.
organically happened, right? Where I just felt relaxed and present and attuned, Of course, there's meditation and there's all those things, but it seems the more I try to go in wanting something like, oh, I want answers, I really want to listen deeply for answers, it's almost like that wanting and forcing like pushes it farther away or something.
Yes.
Because I can get really like, I want, so it seems to kind of coincide with this relaxed state, whether I'm in creativity
Yeah.
zoning out painting or something, like times like that
Yes.
also I feel like, right, when I'm just in my relaxed, aligned with my, like you said it, right, like I'm in that relaxed present state, just aligned with who I
Yep.
am in that moment, not trying to be anything different.
Yeah, I love that you said that, being in a relaxed state. It makes me think of our nervous systems too, and our nervous systems are really relaxed. Yeah, I do that too. I think for me, I start like having a morning routine that starts with meditation every day really helps me like remember to stay connected to God throughout the day, right? So for me, because I think sometimes too, it's like, well, what do you do when you're not relaxed? What do you do in those moments? How can you stay connected all the time? And I feel like that's really where everybody's trying to get to, right? We all want peace
Yeah.
and we want to feel happiness and present and all of that all the time. And, according to, great India masters and teachers, it's like that Shakti flow is running through us all the time. When that energy is running up, we're at peace no matter what is going on in our lives. We don't need the external world to look a certain way, or, we don't need to be out in nature in order to feel that. We can have it 24/7. And that's such an interesting concept to me because it's like, yeah, I get it. But then it's like in the moment, I'm like, really? Like if something that I would say bad is happening or I'm stressed out or I'm worried about something, right? I'm like, hmm. So in those moments, when I'm feeling off like that, I try to imagine like I can just take a second and like bring my energy up and then bring it to my ajna, the third eye, and just be like, okay, let me connect to this for a moment. I am a higher being, right? Then I don't have to react to this outer circumstance and just seeing if I can like kind of reconnect with God, spirit, universe in that moment, right? And then move through that way. It's definitely a practice. It's a very interesting practice to be in that. I'll try to do that too if I suddenly find myself worrying about something. God,
Yeah.
I'm really worried about this. Oh, okay. Like, don't ignore the feeling, right? Don't be like, oh, don't think that because that's just depression, right? But be like, feel that. Be worried about this. If I'm going to be worried, I might as well worry, right?
Yeah.
And then just transmute the energy up. And then remember, wait, I am this powerful being. I am already whole, complete, and perfect. Apparently, this when the Shakti is flying up, I can be happy all the time. So,
Right.
like,
Right.
trying to remember and tune into that can
Yep.
be really powerful. But yeah, it's a practice,
Yeah.
like anything else.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, like remembering or reconnecting with your infinite self, and
Yeah.
I that like the breathing it up. I did that many, many times today. I had like the funk kept waving in today, big time. There was no reason for it. I was just like, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay, just being with it. But it does move the energy because I literally
it does.
feels like my crown chakra is like right, and I feel it, like I feel it physically, I feel it like emotionally, right. It's like
Yeah,
I really do feel like a physical shift in my
you
energy, in
can.
my body, in my area up here. And so it's like drawing attention to that area, it's kind of hard not to remember, oh, I'm connected to something greater than myself.
Yes, that's exactly it. You're taking that time to connect with your, and the Ajna chakra, it's like your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, your intuition. So you're like taking a moment to connect to that. And it really does work if you're able to put it into practice. And again, remember, be patient with yourself if you are going to practice this, because if you're used to like reaction, right? Like I am, and still do that, it can be like, oh crap, I forgot about it. And again, it's not like it's gonna completely solve the problem, but you do transmute the energy. I'll share this with clients and I'll have them practice it. And when they practice it, they will write to me and be like, oh, I've been doing that and it does work. And they're like shocked. It's like they thought I was talking craziness to them before. Like, well, it's not that bad. I mean, I don't really think I need to do that. Like, no, I mean, obviously, because it's hard to understand because there's certain things that happen that it's like, well, obviously this is happening. Shouldn't I be upset about this? Shouldn't I be worried about this? Shouldn't I, like it doesn't make sense. Am I just turning a blind eye? And it's like, no, because you have to still feel your emotions with it, right? But when you can just accept that that's how you're feeling, so bring it in, like actually let it come in and then up and then respond from your third eye, it's like you can feel that energy shift. So if you're
Yes,
listening to this and you decide to practice this and try it, we'll be curious to know what you think. So definitely leave a comment and let us know.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I was looking up, it made me think of this Gene Key quotes from the Gene Key book. It talks about the human tendency to look for outer causes for our problems is the greatest addiction on the planet. And I've
Oh,
always
wow.
loved that because I'm like, yes, that's so true, right? It's like we always want to look outside for something that's going on
Yes.
internally, or
Wow, that
take something
really,
outside to treat something that's going on internally.
yeah, that really is the greatest addiction. Wow. Oh
Love
my
it.
gosh. That's a powerful statement. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, mm, thank you for this chat. What a wonderful card. And it's just so funny too, because in my company, when you pull that card, the mentor in my company, I was having a meeting with my manager today trying to get a mentorship program implemented. So when that card pulls up, I was like, oh, the mentor, of course. Like, where is this going here?
Oh, I love it.
Well, thank you all for listening and tuning in. We'd love for you to join us in our weekly circles if you are needing that support. So you can find more information about that below too and fill out our intake form. And once you do that, we'll send you our free guide and the Zoom link. And we'd love to have you and see you in circle.
Yes.
All right. See you on the next one. Bye.